Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deepsouth Homestead. We are out here we got a sunny day. We're going to try to start standing some walls and pray that everything goes well. We just got all the water swept off the plastic that we can get off of it so that we can actually start working safely. Wanted to talk to y'all just a moment before I actually begin about laying out walls and putting them together. The first thing you want to do is I want to show you how I mark my bottom and top plates. There's a letter C here. This C stands for a corner. I have corners made up we talked about on the other videos. It will go here. What we've done, you always want to measure from the outside of your building because that's where you're going to be putting your sheeting on. You come over 15 1/4 and set ahead with your mark. What that does is that gives you a 16-inch center to the stud. We go 15 1/4 because 3/4 inches is half of 1.5 inches, which is what the width of a stud is. And we continue this on down through here to 31 1/4. Then we go to 47 1/4, 63 1/4, and then here's where we come into what we call a T. Right here you can see through the plastic we have a wall laid out right here through the plastic. Our blue lines are on the floor here through this plastic. This T represents where this wall intersects with an outside wall. Now we're putting the outside walls up first because these are called through walls. On a house you put all your through walls up first and then you come back and put your inside walls up. So we have a T here, and then what we've done, even though we've come to a T, a lot of contractors will stop right here and they'll begin with this side and start their 16-inch measurement again. Well, what that does, that makes you have to cut a lot of siding to fit. I don't do that. I leave my tape measure still hooked to the end of the plate down here. And once we get to the T, I continue my 16-inch centers. I never stop them because the sheeting on the outside, whatever happens on the inside of the house plays no part in what's happening on the outside of the house. So I continue, I'm down 111 1/4, and here we come to where the front door is. Now, when we get to the front door, we have a stud and a liner. We already made these up in the last video. I showed you I made liners up. And you come on over, this mark right here, it has a C in it. This stands for a cripple. Now, cripple is a short stud that goes between a header and a top plate, or between a bottom plate and the bottom of a windowsill or something. So even though there is no studs under this, there are some little 11 3/4 inch cripples above the header because this is a 9-foot wall. These remain on 16-inch centers from the end of the building because the plywood will continue to run. We get over here, we have the other liner for the other side of our door, and then we have a stud, and when we get to the end here, this is 16 feet. We do a 3/4 inch mark here because this is actually 16 foot to the center of this. We want this wall to join on the center of the top of a stud rather than somewhere else randomly in the wall. That way this wall and this wall both nail to that same stud. And when we come back and put the top plate on in a little while, we'll show you how you compensate for a break in a wall like this.
Alright, this is a corner, right? And then this one is a
T.
T.
One thing when you're laying out studs to use, you always want your bow to be toward the outside of the house. That's because when you put your siding on, a lot of times when you do that, the siding will actually help straighten the studs back in. Now there are occasions where I'll put a bow one way and a bow another way, and it kind of helps to straighten the wall out when we do it. So it just depends on how bad the bow is in the stud. Another thing here is we're trying to be very careful not to tear our plastic. We've got a couple of holes in it right over here. We cut a limb off a tree and it snagged the plastic a little bit, so we're having to be kind of careful so that our plywood don't get wet up under the plastic any more than it absolutely has to. This is our header. It's a 41-inch header for a 36-inch door. The reason it's 41 is because your rough opening is 38 inches for a 36-inch door, and then you have 2-inch and a half cripples, liner studs, jack studs, whatever you want to call them, on the sides. So that inch and a half is another 3. So you actually have 38 plus 3 more inches, which gives you 41-inch header that has to go in the top of it, which is what it takes for a 3-foot entrance door. One of the reasons we do this now, before we nail the top plate on, is because this stud is so close we have to kind of move it over to the side, and if we had it nailed to the top plate we wouldn't have the luxury of being able to push that over. there.
Gosh, that's it as well.
Well, I gotta go. Just move it.
We'll go in a little more, Brian. Whoa. Right there, maybe?
No, maybe. It either fits between the lines or it don't.
Does that look pretty close? Go back.
What?
Dot's way just a touch.
Back that way. Right there.
There.
Right there.
Right there?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
I was probably telling him the wrong way, wasn't I?
Well, I just kept when I went too far. I went. Yeah, I was pulling and pushing.
Okay guys, I have finished framing the cabin. I have all the outside walls, all the inside walls up. We have all the top plates on. We have all the bracing in. We have pull strings on the walls. Everything is lined up. Everything is straight. We are now ready to start putting ceiling joists back here where they're going to go at, and exposed beams out here in the front where they're going to go. That'll help tie the two end walls together even better when I get all this stuff in. And then I'll be able to lay walkboards across the top of all of the ceiling joists and the exposed beams to build the actual roof on. So look forward to that coming up. We've got all of our doorways cut out now where water can get out of here. It won't make a big pool in here. Hopefully the weather's going to hold off where we can get some more work done. We've got like 5 days of rain supposedly once again, and it's just not a good time for that. So we're going to plug away at it and do what we can do and try to see if we can't get this roof started here before long and get this baby closed in where we can start enjoying a closed in cabin at least. Thank you.